right. With that down, let's move on to the fifth and final main topic today. And our fifth and final main topic today comes to us from Heather Long, who writes, you were discussing the lack of reviews for Anna yesterday. Anna is an action film that looks like a female John Wick film that I was really into with the trailers, but there's been no press for it. Anyway, you were discussing the lack of reviews for Anna yesterday, and like you, I've been looking forward to seeing it. I found an article in the LA Times for yesterday that indicates why there has been minimal promotion for Anna and apparently few, if any, press screenings. I don't think there have been any, as a matter of fact. I feel for the actors and actress in this project, particularly in light of the allegations. I don't know enough about the Besson, that's Luc Besson, the director, situation to comment, but this is just a case of the studio playing duck and cover, or is this just a case of the studio playing duck and cover? And can a project still overcome the lack of press and support? All right, thanks a lot for that question, Heather, and it's a great topic to bring up. So this I've seen a couple of times, very smallly marketed. They have not put a lot of marketing push behind this movie, Anna, but when I have seen the trailers, I've loved it. It's totally a female John Wick. I get it. Yes, it is. But it still looks awesome. You put Cillian Murphy in there, you put Luke Evans in there, and I'm like, okay, I'm all on board. This looks great to me. And it's got this young woman in the lead who was in Luc Besson's Valerian City of a Thousand Planets. She had a small role in that. She's a Russian model. Her name's Sasha Luce. And apparently I went and found this article that Heather was talking about in the message in the LA Times. And apparently it doesn't sound like there were any press screenings. And I didn't even think about that till it's like, oh my gosh, I never got any notification about a press screening for this thing at all. I don't even know that any press screenings happened. And the LA Times article talks about there was a screening, but it was only with like 12 people. And it wasn't set up by the studio. It was set up by Sasha Luce's, who plays the lead. Her agent set it up to celebrate her birthday. And like, that's it. Now, again, I don't want to get into drama that happens off camera. That's not what we're here to talk about. But the drama Heather is talking about in her message about Luc Besson is several women have come forward with allegations, including criminal ones. And there was a criminal investigation and blah, 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 blah. And all this kind of stuff is going on. So the question is the fact that they haven't done press screenings, and if they have, they were very few. If they have done press screenings, they were very few. So let's go with the assumption that, just for a second, for argument's sake, that they haven't. The lack of press screenings, the lack of junketing, the lack of real promotion. I like the way Heather put it in the message. Is this a duck and cover? Is it just like, has the studio just gone, you know what? If we do any press for this, every question we're going to get is going to be about Besson and the allegations. So it might even be better just to do none. That none might be better than bad in this situation. There's an old saying that says, all publicity is good publicity. Well, we know that that's not necessarily true. And maybe this is a situation like that. I'll tell you what, Rob, as strange as it sounds, I was like, oh my gosh, it's the day before release and they haven't lifted a review embargo. I'm not going to go see Anna. Hearing this actually kind of renews my interest in seeing the movie a little bit, because it's not necessarily because they don't believe in the film. So I don't know. All I know is that I like the cast in this, particularly the supporting guys with Murphy and Evans, I should say. I thought the trailers looked fantastic. It looks like a lot of kick-ass action. I'm curious to see this. But anyway, you're hearing about all this. What do you think the motivation is here at this point for such a lack of marketing support and PR for this film?
Luc Besson, I'll flat out say it, one of my favorite filmmakers. I mean, all the way back to the 80s with his debut science fiction film, Le Dernier Combat, Subway. He directed La Femme Nikita. He directed The Professional, or as we know it, Leon, the extended version. He directed The Fifth Element. He also directed Lucy, which was a huge worldwide hit. The fact that he's come back and made this what looks to be a kick-ass action film where he's working in the same milieu that he was working in with La Femme Nikita and The Professional excites me. However, the allegations that I've actually met Luc Besson on a couple of occasions, and the man's kind of a horn dog. and that was very apparent when I met him the first time on when he was working on Fifth Element. He was editing it, and we went up to his house in Malibu, and where he was editing the movie, not his house. And I don't know anything about the controversy other than the fact what I've read in the papers. I can't make a decision about it, but to see a filmmaker of Luc Besson's caliber, a film like this dumped by the studio, they have a obligation to release it. Somebody who knows how to craft an action scene the way he does, to me, it's a real shame. I mean, I think it's very, very sad.
Yeah.
And look, that's not to say it's sad all the way around. If he was horrible to women, that's sad. But the fact that all the time and effort and money, it's not just Luc Besson working on a movie here. It's everybody who worked on the film, his crew, his actors, everyone. And everybody suffers when a movie gets buried like this. I mean, it looks to have a pretty great breakout central performance in, what's her name? Sasha
Luce. And she's the one I feel worse for in all this. And here she is. She's leading a movie, a big Hollywood film. It's her first one. And like you said, it's getting buried.
And coming from a director, Léon Perrault, who was in La Femme Nikita, and of course, all the actors that were in. I mean, I love. Why am I drawing a blank on his name? You know, the guy who played Leon in The Professional.
The Professional.
Why am I drawing a blank on his name? I have an action figure of him.
Such a great accent too. That
Jean
dude.
Reno.
Jean Reno.
Jean Reno. I love Jean Reno. I love Jean Reno and everything. He was in Le Dernier Combat, and to see that happen to this movie, you know. One person should not decide the fate of the work that many people do. And it's sad, and especially Sasha Luce. I mean, from the trailers, she looks great.
She does look great. Yeah.
I'm going to see this movie this weekend. I'm going.
Yeah, I am too now, and who knows? Hopefully the movie's good. I don't know. Maybe the movie will suck and we'll go, well, it doesn't really matter either way. But I do really feel bad for this young lady getting a big break like this. I love the way she came across in the trailers. Let's see if she comes across in the movie well. And maybe if it is good, maybe some word of mouth might give it a little bit of bump. But anyway, guys, what do you think about this? What have you thought about the trailers for Anna? I think this thing has looked great. Do you have any plans on going to check it out? Or do you think, it just looks like a John Wick ripoff, whatever? What are your thoughts? Jump down in the comment section below and let me know what you guys think. All right.